Hello and welcome in, everyone. I am your host, Code Wonderland, and today we are playing some more Comet 64. I am so hyped for this. This game is everything that I'd hoped it was going to be, and I'm just getting started. At first, I was like, oh, this is a short game. There's just these puzzles over here. Hopefully, they get more complex towards the end. But, I was going to be happy with the short playthrough. Then I realized that's just disc 1. So if you load disc 1, that's what we got right here. We got discs 1 through 4, and technically I can access the first 3 of any of these. And then as I get more, I can access 3 beyond whatever I've completed. Then there's also A and B, which I don't know if those are going to be more complex, less complex, what, who knows. There's this voodoo file, which I need to get an access code for. And then there's a little note section. So if I remember the passcode to voodoo, I'll probably just put it here for easy remembrance later. But let's get back to where we left off. For those who are unfamiliar or just joining us, this is a puzzle game that's based around owning a Commodore 64 in the 80s, except for in this instance we're calling it a Comet 64 because copyright. Or I don't know, satire, who knows. But there's a whole list of commands and whatnot that you can access, and it's all based around programming in this pseudo assembly code that would feel very familiar to somebody who was programming on the Commodore 64 back in the day. So we're gonna come over here, pick up on question number 5 or puzzle number 5. Output a countdown from 100 to 0. So I think that what we're gonna do here, we're going to, so this is our what goes up, which is the opposite. Except for we did 1 to 100. We're doing 100 to 0. Not that much different. Our default values are going to be 0. So what I'm wondering, the easiest way to do this, So int equals 100 minus reg. Reg plus plus. Output equals int. That's my thought. So int equals 100 minus reg. So reg and int both started at 0. Reg will just be converted to an int. Reg is just a float value or a decimal value. So it'll get the ending stripped off of it. So if I say int equals 100 minus reg, that starts at 0. Int will be turned to 100, because 100 minus 0 is 100. Reg will be incremented for the next run. Output will be int. So the first one will be 100. Next round, reg will be 1.0. 100 minus 1, 99, so on, so forth, until we complete the task. Oh, I forgot. I need semicolons at the end of all of these. I feel like this is a good example of when you learn how to code, it's usually just dumb stuff at the end of the day if you're not first operand, output, not recognized. Did I get the name of that wrong? It is output. Do I not just assign output? So output equals that. So what was the complaint again? First operand, output. Oh, I spelled output wrong. Yeah, exactly as I was saying before. It's once you learn how to code, it's like the minor things that really stop you from programming in a different language. Hey, look at that. Solve must come down in exactly 3 lines and 303 cycles. So that's the optimal. The challenge actually isn't even as far down as mine goes. I made it more optimal. Look at that. That's funny. No wonder there's an achievement for that. But yeah, so when you learn to code, you could just apply it to so many different ways. Even if you don't know a language, it's so easy to pick up a language. Don't feel like you can't, take a job or try out a new language just because you haven't done it before. Your basic experience will in fact apply, and it'll just be those minor things that you'll be able to get pretty easy feedback for. Alright, for each 2 values from input, output the greater one. Okay. So let's look at our input. We have integer values. So let's see. Let's start with reg equals input, int equals input. Let's see. Then check reg greater than int. Also, remember those semicolons. Alright, and then let's see. Check reg greater than int. How do I want to manage this? Okay, I think what we want to do is we're going to have two sections. Output reg, output int. And then we're going to label them as much. Output reg, output int. We're gonna probably need to refine this later, but I'm just going along the basics. Like, all right, what's the most optimal way to do this? And in output reg, we would do. Oh, and also we need an end. So output reg, output equals reg, output int, output equals int. And then before output int, we jump to end. And then if, let's see, jump if true. We want to output the greater one, so jump if false to output int. And then we don't need this label here because we're not jumping there ever. Don't output both. So we jump. My cat is complaining because she wants food even though she's 45 minutes early. Alright, so that makes sense. Let's run it. We're missing a semicolon somewhere. Where are we missing a semicolon? I put a colon there. Alright, we passed. We passed. How do we do on this? So we can do it in 2 fewer lines and 3 fewer cycles. Okay. Huh. That's such a small and minor amount. Let's return. That saves us 1 line. Oh, we failed. Why did we fail? Why did we fail in the very last one? We output 55. That makes no sense. What? Okay, let's oh, wait, why is... Hold on. Okay. Wait a second, but the last 2 things on the input were 19, or like 9 and 55 though. For each 2 values from input, output the greater one. Run through that one more time. So our first two numbers were 12 and negative 26. 12 is higher. Great. Next we got 53 and 30. 53 and negative 30, sorry. And then we should output 53. And then we should get 22 and negative 2, and output 22. Yep. Negative 13, negative 41, we should output negative 13. There we go. We should get 20 and negative 30 and output 20. Okay, we've output 20. 55, 74, output 74. Negative 40 and 60, output 60. 14 and 25, output 25. Also, just remember I'm checking through up here too, so you can use that while I'm clicking through, as well as out right here. Alright, we got output equals int. And we got 25. 72, negative 18, we should get 72. And then after that, we have 55 and 9. Wait, why do we output twice? Huh. Let me look back at the user manual for return. Returns to the previous jump instruction. So, wait a second. Because I'm determined, I've got to get it optimal here. But it's not returning to the previous jump instruction, it is returning to the top. We've confirmed that with the earlier parts here. So in this instance, we've got negative 3, negative 4. And so we're going to be outputting the reg. And so we output the reg, we hit the return statement. And we go to this, which is weird. But I think that's because we've just already finished this one. Yeah, okay. It's weird on how it shows that, but I kind of get it. What's going on here? I really don't know why we're not getting that last bit. I mean, it's still not the optimal. I mean, maybe, I don't know. So jump if false to output int. Great, that's fine. Let's check one more thing right here at the end. So let's output a bunch of things here. Let's get right towards the end. Because they're correct right until the very end. Why is it so many 44s? This does not match up right. That's all 44s. What? Yeah, there's something iffy with this return here. Yeah, it's the same shit. Yeah, I don't know if I can use this return like this. Let's just do jump to end and leave the end here. Run that. So that's perfectly fine. And we're still back to... We got one fewer cycle. No, we didn't. It's still 2 and 3. What on earth is wrong about this picture? Something about it isn't great. Let's look back at some of our logic here. Check input equals null does not remove input unlike other input checks. Interesting. Wait, so I can check input directly. But it would pull the information out. Man, that's fine. Okay, so let's get rid of this. And then check. Oh wait, no, because we still have to input it. Or we still have to output it. Wait, but where does it go then? Does it just disappear then? So if I do... Other input checks would remove input. And it just removes it. It's just gone. That's not very helpful. I feel like there's something I'm overlooking here. Compare the pair. And the only way we can do anything based off of conditionals is jumps. If I'm understanding that correctly. So, let's see. Yeah, checks and jumps and labels, yeah. That's all we got for logic. Jumps could be forwards or backwards, that we knew. I can't just directly do jump if reg greater than int here, right? That's not valid logic. Nah. I'm definitely overlooking something. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something that's just not working out here. 7 or fewer lines. Let's just try. Let's see. Check if input is greater than int, and then output equals input. Yep, I didn't think so. That works again. I always like to make sure that it works after I change it back, you know? Alright, we'll come back to this. Alright. Input contains a list of dates, but some dates are written twice in a row. only output the duplicates. And what do those dates look like? Just, okay, years. Alright. And user manual for comparing. And you just use a single equals. Got it. So, int equals input. Check int equals input. And then jump. Let's see, no. If false, end, output equals int, end. Where am I missing a, there it is. What did I miss? What did I miss? So int equals input, false end. Let's just step through this. Alright, int equals 1992. This next one should not output. Alright, these next two. Oh, wait. So it's not that I'm collecting them in duplicates. I'm just checking for duplicates. So like right here, because I'm pulling in this input that I've got in 1977, and then I'm pulling in this, or 1997, and I'm pulling in this 1983. This should still output because this and this are 1983. So how do we account for that? Let's see. Can I check? Yeah. So let's clear all this. So, well, maybe not all of it. Jump if check int equals 0. Jump if false. Check int. Although I guess in this instance we don't want to be discarding every other value. How do I want to manage this? I feel like I'm going to need to pull in another variable, probably reg. Let's call this check date. And then check date starts here. And let's see, reg equals input. And actually, I'm going to do, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Reg equals input. And then int equals reg. And then int equals reg. Jump if false, end, output equals int, and actually let's move this to here. And let's run it. Beautiful. We passed. All right. And man, they're really making it so that you gotta par down your code. So let's look at this for just a second. Let me explain what I'm doing, see if I can use my understanding or maybe lack thereof of the problem to simplify this. So we check to see if the int equals 0, and then we jump if false to check date. That's because we want to grab one item. Actually, wait a second. Hold on. Let me see if this works, and I think it will. Yeah, this is a lot simpler. Yeah, and we even got it better than the challenge cycles. So, here's what we're doing. We're assuming that int is going to be 0 the first run. That's fine. We don't care. Each run of this code, we're only pulling one singular item here. We're assigning it to reg. If int equals reg, then we output it. If not, we just jump to the end. We assign int to reg. That way we have a space in reg to pull the next input. And then we continue along until we get to the very end, only pulling one each time. Yeah. Beautiful. If only I was that smart with compare the pair. I don't know what's going on with this. Let's see. For each two values from input, output the greater one. Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably have a special episode where I go back and finish the ones that really stumped me the first time. But for today, for now, I think that's where we'll call it. If you liked the episode, the video, please subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps. I'm trying to do more and more of these coding game type videos because I feel like that's where I can really excel in terms of like what I can show off on YouTube. And I mean, you know, video games are video games, but I know how to code really well. So, but if you like that, yeah, please check out the Twitch as well, Twitch TV/Code Wonderland. But otherwise, until next time, bye everyone.